In this unit circle survival guide, we'll find the exact value of cotangent of 19 pi over 6 using SARC. So the SARC method is just an acronym, SARC, and you see the outline right here, and it's just a way to keep your steps in order so that you remember what to do and you're sure you don't miss any particular detail, because exact values really come down to just paying close attention to the detail and not making a small error that throws off your answer. So a quick overview, the S stands for sketching the angle's terminal side. The A helps us remember A.S.T.C, which helps us decide if our final answer is positive or negative. The R is for our reference triangle and the special right triangle and coordinates that go with it. And then C is for calculate. That's where we'll calculate our trig ratio. So we want to do this for the cotangent of 19 pi over 6. So we'll first start by sketching our angle's terminal side. Now we see that this angle is positive, so it rotates in the counterclockwise direction. And we also should notice that this angle is more than one rotation. So 2 pi is a full rotation, or rewriting that so that it has a denominator of 6, it'd be 12 pi over 6. And of course, 19 pi over 6 is greater than that. So let's find a coterminal angle, which will just be an angle that shares the same terminal side, but just you don't rotate as much to get to that angle's terminal side. So to do that, you just need to take 19 pi over 6 and subtract 2 pi, or write that with the common denominator as 12 pi over 6. So 7 pi over 6 is a coterminal angle to 19 pi over 6, or they share the same terminal side. So now let's sketch the angle now that it's less rotations. It makes it easier to sketch. Here's 0, here's pi. I like to rewrite pi as 6 pi over 6 because then it's really easy to see that 7 pi over 6 should be here with its terminal side, just 1 pi over 6 past. So our angle's terminal side is in quadrant 3. And now we're ready to move on to step 2, where we make our determination of our final sign. Should it be positive or negative? So think for A.S.T.C, all students take classes, and that's going to help you know which trig functions are positive in each quadrant. So working from quadrant 1, they're all positive there. Sine and cosecant are positive in quadrant 2. Everything else is negative. Tangent and cotangent are the positive ones in quadrant 3. And cosine and secant are the ones positive in quadrant 4. So we're here in quadrant 3. We know that tangent and cotangent are going to be positive, and thus our final answer will be positive because we're finding the cotangent of 19 pi over 6. So let's make a note of that here. And this is really nice because as we do all the rest of our work, we don't have to worry about which coordinates are positive or negative. We've tackled that task up front, and now we can work with all positive values and eliminate a pretty high probability for error or just forgetting a sign. Okay, so now we're on to the R, step 3. Let's find the reference angle so that we can get our special right triangle and coordinates. So the reference angle we actually talked about without calling it the reference angle. It's just the amount of rotation between the angle's terminal side and the x-axis. So we know from pi, or 6 pi over 6, to get to 7 pi over 6, that's just 1 pi over 6. So that's our reference angle, pi over 6. And that's the same thing as 30 degrees, so we will be using the special right triangle that's a 30, 60, 90 special right triangle. And that's the one with the longer leg as its horizontal leg. And that should help you recall the coordinates for that special right triangle on the unit circle that are square root of 3 over 2 for the x, and then the shorter vertical leg will be 1/2. That's the y coordinate. And now we're ready to calculate. So we know that to find the cotangent of an angle on the unit circle, we should divide x by y. So we have our x and y coordinate from the previous step, and we're saying the square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. All right, so when we divide fractions, let's do a little scratch work down here. We have square root of 3 over 2. If you divide by 1/2, you're actually multiplying by 2 over 1 by the reciprocal. You can cross cancel to eliminate that common factor of 2, and you see that that value reduces to square root of 3. We know it's positive from our analysis in step 2, and so we know the cotangent of 19 pi over 6 is going to be positive square root of 3. Check out the links below in the video description. I'll post links to more worked examples of exact values using the SARC method. And I'll also post a link to a playlist that has help with what I like to call the unit circle basics. So if you had trouble understanding any of the particular steps, any of the little individual skills that we used in any of the steps, check out that playlist. There will be a lot of videos that go into greater depth on these basic unit circle skills. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your exact values.